Podcast.co.
So my name's Helen Antrobus and I'm the Programme Officer here at the People's History Museum. Represent Voices 100 Years On was really designed to commemorate the centenary of the representation of the People Act in 1918. So the exhibition is obviously based here in Manchester and it's got some absolutely incredible objects in it, and we wanted to start a podcast so that the exhibition could actually be accessible to more people, more audiences who might not be able to make it to the museum or to Manchester. So the reason we decided to create a podcast is that we wanted to create in a way a virtual tour. So you will have me talking about the objects, taking you around the objects, particularly key highlights, and actually being able to explain and go into a bit more detail than I would be able to on the labels in the exhibition or on a guided tour as well. I don't think we would have been able to start our podcast without Podcast.co, because I didn't know anything about podcasts. No one at the museum knew anything about them. So we really needed that professional eye, but also someone who would help us, who would guide us, who would give us sort of a lot of tips and a lot of information, and even be there in the studio with us, helping us record and also sort of making it as engaging and as sort of listenable as possible. It was actually through a member of staff at the museum. We put a call out on social media and a member of staff had heard about them. We'd done some work in Federation House before, so we knew that they were based there, and we just got in touch and immediately they were so helpful and really enthusiastic and on board with the project. It really increases our digital offer. I think, to get involved with virtual exhibits, to start offering more things online, is something that all museums need to start investing in and really broadening that digital offer, because, not to sound cheesy, but that's kind of where future audiences are. And I think also it creates a really strong legacy. This exhibition isn't going to be here forever, but to have this podcast which goes through every object, which sort of talks about why we put it in the exhibition and also gives sort of behind the scenes stories as well, I think it'll be really great for not only our visitors and our audiences to listen back, but for staff members as well, to remind ourselves of what we did this year in this centenary. I've really enjoyed the podcast experience. I've loved talking about the exhibition. It's just been really good for me to sort of put it all down and remember it, but also I really want to start my own podcast as well, because I do a lot of freelancing in sort of historical research for television and radio, and I've always think that making history accessible and not just keeping it confined to museums and universities, actually putting it out for people to hear is really important. And there's so many ridiculously wacky stories that can be told that aren't being told. So I feel like my experience doing this podcast with Podcast.co has made me think, what could I actually put in another podcast, or what could be in this? So I think it's been really great.
Got questions? Get answers. Join the podcast movement today.